Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make a pinky, super glittery Christmas nail design. So if you're into pink and you're into glitter, then this is definitely the video for you. So I've got a nude there from Cloud Beauty N17, and this is my pink that we're going to use today. It's You Free Tonight from Madam Glam, almost got that wrong. And these are the only two that we're going to use. Later on in the video, I will use some white, but the white is mainly for actual nail art, not anything like background colors or anything like that. So make sure if you're recreating, grab that white out as well before you get started. So when it comes to our background colors, our base colors on our nails, I've got 3 nude nails. I've got 1 full pink nail and 1 ombre nail. You're going to want to pop the nude at the top and the pink at the bottom and then ombre it together. I'll show you guys how I ombre in just a second, but I use a Madam Glam ombre brush and I just go back and forth in the center where those two colors meet to create that seamless blend. And I do go ahead and do 2 layers of all of those nails off camera, so I always show you guys the first layer and then I finish it all up off camera quickly, and then we can crack on with our nail art design, because boy is there a lot today. If you're into crazy nails like me and you really do love that glitter like me, then trust me, this is the design for you. I just love how heavy-handed I was with the glitter today. I just went full on out in today's design. So this is the bit where I'm doing the ombre. So I'm just going side to side where the two colors meet. And when I feel I roughly got a blend there, I start slowly taking my brush down the nail, but still going back and forth. So I will have a video very soon, kind of a whole video just talking about ombres, how to do ombre step by step, all the different methods and techniques that you can try to get the best ombre down when you are doing nail art. So definitely subscribe and pop on that little bell, I think is at the next to the subscribe button, I think, to make sure you don't miss that video, because I'm going to come out with quite a lot of useful content soon, probably now in the new year, I reckon. So now that everything's cured, time to crack on with our nail art. So this is the bit where I'm taking out the whites, and this first new nail I'm doing stripes, just lines, slanted lines, and I'm leaving quite a big chunk in between each line because later we're going to use some of that pink glitter to kind of create that candy cane nail. The next nude nail we are doing almost like a French tip, but not really. I feel like this has a name, but I don't know the name. So if you know, let me know in the comments. But it's almost like you're doing a French tip. You're doing that smile line, but you're basically cutting it off halfway through and then just dragging your brush right down to the tip of the nail to create that straight line. That one has also gone into the lamp. And the last nail, when it comes to the nude nails, is this one. So our third nail. And this one is going to be quite similar to the candy cane nail, where you've got your white lines and then we're going to have pink glitter in between. But for this one, you want to do curved lines. I feel like it kind of reminds me of a sweet. This nail could also have a name. I clearly haven't come prepared for the voiceover today, but I feel like this has a name as well. So if you know this one, let me know. But it reminds me of those like Christmassy sweets sometimes. So I'm going to do the lines. It's sometimes a bit hard to envision what you're doing. Obviously, every time I do nail art on this channel, I've already practiced it off camera, so I already know what I'm doing. So it always looks like I'm way more prepared. I'm a bit more skilled than I am. I do always practice off camera and get the design nailed before I film. So never think that I'm a super huge expert. I just come really prepared when it comes to filming. So these are the lines. I'm just kind of thickening them up, making sure that they're somewhat symmetrical to one another. Now that that's done, all cured, ready to go, I'm going in with a top coat, and the rest of the designs are going to be on top of the top coat. So we're going to have a lot of sugaring, and also we're going to do some nail art that we are then going to sprinkle some clear acrylic on top. So the top coat that I'm using today is a glossy one, and it's from Nail Nails, and I'm applying it on all of those nails. Recently I've just really liked the glossy on top of nails and then art on top of it. I don't know, I feel like I recently did a video where I ran out of my matte top because I had to use a glossy, and since then I kind of haven't looked back. So I've been on a massive glossy nail terrain right now. So once you're happy, pop it into the lamp. Not much will change, they'll still look the same. Not like when you apply a matte top coat. So now it's time to dig into the pinky shades. So the glitter that you want to use, you want to try and pick out a colour that's most similar to the gel polish. So if there's a specific glitter you want to use, then match it with the gel polish, or of course other way around, if you've got a specific gel polish you want to use, try and match a glitter towards that. And start painting away, but don't cure, because we are going to sprinkle on the glitter first before you pop it into the lamp. So in this part now, we are just going in between the white lines, but also still leaving a little gap in between the white, just to kind of still have the bit of that nude coming through. And you just want to continue the whole nail like that. And once you're happy, grab your glitter. I'll show you guys in a second what glitter I'm using. It's literally my all-time favorite glitter. I actually ended up buying about, maybe 100 grams of it, if not more, by accident. If you've ever been on Glittery, they offer a bunch of glitter options, but they also offer wholesale options. And there was one time where I was shopping and I managed to click on the bigger gram than I wanted, and I have like loads of this glitter. But on the flip side, I am very happy actually, because it's one of my most used pink glitters, to be honest. The camera's given it a bit more of like a neon color, but it's not as neon. It's a little bit more subtle. It's definitely out there, but it's not like super neon in your face. So apologies for that. The camera's not really giving it any justice in that area. It's not really showing you guys the real true color. So that first nail got sugared. Now we're on to this one. So you just want to repeat the same kind of shape and lines that we created, but of course, once again, leaving that gap in between so you can still see a bit of that nude. Same thing, color it in, sprinkle on that glitter straight into the lamp. Every time I do this, I do pop it in the lamp for double cure. So make sure you do that, just because you do have a wet gel polish, plus you're also sprinkling on extra product into it. So just to make sure that the light really penetrates and make sure it cures, I pop it in for double. If you feel a bit worried and want to do triple, then go ahead. Nothing will happen with it. It's just making sure that does cure fully. And once again, same thing for this nail. Just follow what you did initially with those white lines. Once again, leaving that nudie shade in between is really, really important. When I was practicing this design off camera, there were moments where I didn't leave the nude and it doesn't look that good. So I just really want to make sure you guys don't end up recreating possibly and then not thinking it's that important, and it might not look as good as you wanted it to. It was just not my personal preference, but if you do of course like it without the nude, then you might as well not even put the nude in the background, to be honest. You might as well just go straight in with the white and maybe just do your lines with the pink. Maybe do it that way to save you guys some time and product. So I'm colouring it in, and it was the most easiest time working with this pink. It's super pigmented, super friendly. I just loved using it. Some of Madame Glam gel polishes are so good for block colouring, all of that stuff like that. I just recently uploaded the Grinch nail, and that green that I used was just a dream to work with. I was just so happy with it. It was super pigmented. I didn't have to do 2 layers. It was just a dream. So if you're in the market for some gel polishes, definitely give them a go if you haven't before. I know a lot of YouTubers use them. They're great. They send a lot of us products too, which is really nice. We can show you guys the different colours that they do and collections, and they come out with a new collection every month, which is amazing. I should have a discount code in the description with a link to their website if you wanted to give them a little look and shop with them. So most, if not, to be honest, all of our sugaring is over now. So now it's time to hop back into the white gel polish, and we're going to do a couple of snowflakes that we are then going to sprinkle on clear acrylic. So for this nail here in the corner, I want to do a snowflake, but I was going for like a different look of the snowflake. So almost like it has the 3 branches, and then rather than doing like little triangles, I did these lines. I don't know if I like them. They're okay. They're not that great. If you have if you're better skilled at snowflakes, then maybe switch it around. There's all sorts of different looks of snowflakes that you can do. So if this one didn't really tickle your fancy, you can definitely try any sort of snowflake and it will look amazing. So I'm just finishing it off with adding a dot at the end of the little lines that I created, and now it's time for the clear acrylic. So I'm using a swatch stick. It's been the best to pick up the clear acrylic, and I'm just sprinkling it on. And then once I see that the gel polish is no longer wet or becoming wet, I pop it into the lamp. So now time for this pinky nail, and this one was a little bit tricky. It's not often that I have to hand paint a star, so it was a bit challenging. I I approached it in the same way as if I was to do a star on a piece of paper with a pen. I don't know if that was the best method. I just never do stars. This was like a first star in years probably that I've done. So it was a bit of a challenge, but it seemed to have worked the same way as if you were to do it on a piece of paper, which is good. And I'm going to do a couple of lines at the top to make it almost look like it's hanging from, I don't know, maybe some tinsel or something like that. So just the 2 lines going the same way. We're going to do 1 line crossing through them as well. Then we're going to do a line that will connect the star up to the top lines, and then 2 extra lines on either side, or 1 on either side, I guess, just on its own. And then we're going to do a couple of dots just to, I guess it kind of gives off either sparkle or some lights. That's kind of what I was going for. So we're just going to do a couple of dots. So of course, depending how large your nail bed is, it will depend how much of these lines you can do and how many dots and everything you can do. But here I was just having fun. I was adding dots wherever I felt like I had space. But also you don't want to do too many. So you have to like find a balance, I guess. So I'm just going to do those little dots. Same thing. Once I'm happy, sprinkle on the clear acrylic. Then we have one last nail that we need to do a snowflake on, and this snowflake we're going to do a different one as well. So it's not going to be the same as the one we did a minute ago in that corner of the nail. We're going to do basically half a snowflake across the full nail, and it'll be on that ombre nail. And that one we do those triangles and some extra little bits and bobs. It's definitely a bit more of a detailed snowflake than the one we did earlier. Here we go. So you want to pick a side. I went for the left. You can pick a right if you want. And you just want to do that first line, then another 2, and then another 2 going like straight down the nail. So 1 up and 1 down. There we go. And then once you're happy and you've got the lines how you want them to be and the same length and everything, you want to start doing your little triangles. And you want to try and, wherever you finish, on the other side, you want to start there too to kind of make it look symmetrical. It is a bit tricky, especially when you're filming. It's really tricky. I tried my best. My hand was shaking a lot. And then you want to do another layer of those triangles at the top of it again. So it's almost like 2 layers. Just want to repeat what you did. Once you're happy with that, I did 2 extra branches on each side of the little snowflake hand that I'd done. That'll be the next step. I'll tell you guys what I mean in a second. Here we are. So those 2 little dashes on either side of the hands, I'm going to do that as well. And then once again, to finish up, just like we did on the other snowflake, I'm going to add a dot right at the top of each snowflake branch just to finish it off. And I also added a little tiny little dot in the center of the very first triangle that we did at the beginning of this nail. So here are those big dots at the end of the snowflake arms. And there. And lastly, with a tiny little dot until you want to just dip into the center of the little triangles. There we go, perfect. And then you want to sprinkle on your clear acrylic. If you had a nail art gel and you didn't want to do the acrylic method, you can definitely do that because it would cure tack free. If you've got like a glitter bells one, for example, that will cure tack free and it will look really cool on a matte background as well. So if you wanted to switch this design around, do a matte background with some shiny snowflakes instead of acrylic snowflakes, then that would look really cool as well. And lastly, just another minute or 2 of crystals. So for this nail, because I clearly didn't think this design was busy enough, I needed to scatter a couple of tiny little AB crystals on this nail. So literally just dot around your Rhinestone glue gel, pick up the tiny little ones just because I felt like the bigger you go, it just didn't really look that good. So I went for the small, tiny little ones. Popped them onto the nail, popped it into the lamp. Then we have one more nail that's going to have crystals, and it's that huge snowflake that we did just a second ago. And we are only going to place it top right hand side. So I'm almost done with this one. Almost done. There we go, looking cute and sparkly. And it's that last one there. Here we go. So right there on the top right hand side in that corner, I'm just going to pop a couple of AB crystals. Starting with the biggest in the center, and then the further away I'm getting, the smaller of a size I'm using. And job done. So I used no caviar beads because I just thought there was so much going on. I mean, I should have probably stopped ages ago, but I continued. But at least I paused on the caviar beads because that would have just been a bit too much, I think. And then I popped it into the lamp, and we're about to show you the final results. here they are. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.